Hey, everybody. It is Jason Smith here, and I am the hypnotist of Hardin County, Kentucky. And I'm here to talk to you tonight about a few different things I'm really excited about. Some of the things I want to share with you tonight. Number one is I had an amazing victory this last week that I really want to share with you. Number two is I'm going to dispel or bust some hypnosis myths tonight. And also, I want to encourage you, if you have not done so yet, to go sign up for the hypnosis audio giveaway that I am doing. That is going to be happening all the rest of this week, and it will end. The entry period will end this Sunday. So I want to make sure you have all of that information so that you'll be able to have a chance to win a free custom tailored hypnosis audio to help you with your specific challenges. Before we get into that, I want to start with this really exciting news. So about a couple weeks ago, my instructor at Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy put forth a challenge to all of us, the hypnotists that have studied under him and become certified and who are current students, that we were going to create isomorphic metaphors. Now, an isomorphic metaphor, for those of you who are not familiar with this, is a type of story where it takes a one-to-one substitution of real life facts and turns it into a story, such as, something like a fairy tale version of that. And what happens when we tell these stories is that the story bypasses the critical faculty. Don't worry about that. It's a technical term. We'll get to that later. But it'll bypass the critical faculty to the audience, the person who listens to the story, and the unconscious mind will understand and interpret the entire meaning of that story and will integrate lessons that would be difficult for them to just take if they were told what to do directly. So it's really amazing how these things work. And the contest went for a couple of weeks. At the end of that, my video was selected as a top 10 finalist. I was shocked. I was not expecting that to actually end up in the top 10 finals, but it did. It ended up there. And I'm going to share that video with you in just a moment. It's about 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. The one that I did for the contest, I had to speed up the audio in order to truncate it down to 2 minutes because that's the amount of time I had to actually get that into 2 minutes. And this story, which I'll play for you at regular speed, is an award-winning isomorphic metaphor. I can say that because today the winners were announced and there was a three-way tie for third place. And I was one of those third place finalists. So I'm really excited because I wasn't expecting to win anything with this story. So I'm just really excited to be a part of that. And this story was created because there was a man who was experiencing a lot of different things in his life. He's getting ready to turn 50. And some of the tragedies that he faced, there was a car accident, there was some personal issues, there was an illness that left him sick in the hospital where he feared that he was going to die. And now he's just trying to hold on, and with PTSD and other things, waking up in the middle of the night, feeling like he's gasping for breath and he's unable, he thinks that he's still in the hospital. All of these things inspired me to create this story, which I'm going to play for you in just a moment. And if you bear with me and listen to this story, I promise that it is going to impact you with whatever it is that you're facing in your life right now. Just go into this with an open mind and allow the story to minister to you and to speak to your unconscious mind, whatever it is that you need to hear. So may I present to you, I proudly present to you my award-winning entry. It's called Embers of Renewal. Stars twinkled high above in the moonlit sky, and a tribe of people gathered around the campfire. Men, women, and children danced gleefully in the twilight as the smoke billowed up from the campfire. In the distance, Wolves howled and owls sang as the soft glow from the moon radiated peace and comfort to the serene forest below. A man sits by the firelight, whittling a wooden figurine, and quietly contemplates the cyclical nature of the world. He marvels at how skillfully his hands work diligently to create something new and wonderful out of something that was once alive and had become broken over time as wind and storms beat against the trees in the forest. As the blade from the knife skims across the surface of the wood, he learns that life can be like a knife. It cuts, scrapes, and smooths over the rough edges, leaving bumps and scratches that dent the surface of the figurine, adding character and strength to it. When he finished his work, everyone marveled and admired the beauty and strength of his carving, and he realized that he too is a work in progress, as he is being fashioned by a master woodworker. As he considers this, he finds inner strength and beams with confidence and empowerment. As the mist settles in the valley and the sun peaks over the horizon, the birds begin to sing. A crow caws in the distance as the eagles begin to soar high above the soft, fluffy white clouds. He rises from the campfire and looks to the sky. The mist lifts and the clouds part, revealing a crystal blue sky. He then feels as though he is awakened from a deep, robust sleep, and he feels gratitude and hope because he has accomplished so much in the realm of dreams, where he has learned to embrace purpose and to let go of trouble so that he can live a renewed life full of fresh vigor and grace. Just then, he watches the trees sway in the gentle breeze, sweeping across the valley, and he breathes deeply and effortlessly at the perfect rate for him, and he notices how fantastic he feels now that he has embraced this awe-inspiring change that has transformed his life forever. Ah, I just get chills listening to that. It does something. Just take a moment and breathe in. It's wonderful, isn't it? And that was my award-winning entry in the Help Cade Restart Life contest from Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. I'm really proud of that work, and I'm excited that it was able to be selected for that. And I pray that as it goes forth and it's delivered to the intended recipient, that it will encourage him, inspire him, and help him to embrace moving into this next phase of his life as a grandfather. So I'm really excited for that. And I hope that it does exactly what it was intended to do for him. So I'm excited. It's because of this contest that I was inspired to start my own contest. And I want to get into that. But before I do, I want to talk about some hypnosis myths. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because there are many myths to hypnosis. And for anybody to even consider using hypnosis as a method to solve their problems, their everyday problems, they have to overcome some of these fears that people have when it comes to hypnosis. And I'm going to be honest, I'm one of those people. And in the beginning, when I first started learning about hypnosis, I'm a Christian, first and foremost. Back in 2002, I had almost committed suicide. So I was about 20 years old at the time, and I was feeling very depressed to the point where I felt nobody loved me. I didn't have any friends. These are the lies I was telling myself, and I wanted to take my life. I thought the world would be better off without me in it, and I almost did. The only thing that stopped me is that I had a pet guinea pig in the apartment, and as soon as I started to take the blade across my wrist, the guinea pig weaked. And when he weaked, it stopped me in my tracks because I thought to myself, there is no one who can take better care of that animal than me. And soon after that, I had gone to therapy for depression. After that, I had decided, because my sister had joined the military, that I wanted to join the military. And the only problem was that because I was depressed, there was going to be this issue with me going into the military. But my recruiter told me that if I'm going to do it, I need to go off the meds And so I did. And I started doing a lot of self-care back then before it was a popular term. I didn't even know that was a term back then, but I was taking care of myself, and I was working out, and I was really starting to feel better, and I wasn't on my meds anymore. So what I did after that is I joined the military, and I wanted to give back to animals because to me, that's what saved my life, was the animals. But it was in the military where I came to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. And at that moment of salvation, that is when I discovered that everything that happened prior to that had God's hand in it. He was setting me up. It was God who nudged the guinea pig to squeak at the right moment to stop me from taking my life. It was God who directed me to see what my sister had done and how she had been successful in completing the military. And it was through the recruiter that helped me to build the self-esteem I needed and the confidence I needed to get into the military without the aid of any kind of drugs. And so I can see God's hand moving in all of that. And I don't deny that. I believe wholeheartedly that Jesus Christ intersected my life and changed it forever. However, there were some people that as soon as I started learning about hypnosis, they started saying that it was witchcraft and sorcery and things like that because they, quite frankly, don't understand it. And I was just like them. I didn't understand it either. And it was going through my training with Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy where my eyes were opened and I was able to see it for the helpful tool that it really is. And so let's talk about some of the myths of hypnosis. One of the first myths of hypnosis is that it's mind control. And this comes out of the works of fiction. And what do I mean by that? The first time that hypnosis as mind control was ever used was in the book Dracula, where we see a vampire who uses hypnosis to influence his victims, right? And to control them. And that's where we get this. It's all built into fiction. If you've watched any cartoons when you were growing up, you'd see how people would swing the watch back and forth and try to, like Bugs Bunny could do this to Elmer Fudd, or anybody else could do this to try to trick somebody else into doing what they want them to do instead of doing what they want to do. And that's not what hypnosis is at all. The truth is, yes, it's mind control, but you're the one who's in control of your mind, because a hypnotist does not have any power over you except through the suggestion, and the suggestions can only be made if the critical faculty deems that it is safe for you to undergo a trance. So, is it mind control? Yes and no. Does the hypnotist control your mind? No. So if the hypnotist doesn't control your mind, then what is hypnosis? All hypnosis is a form of self-hypnosis. And the only people who can be hypnotized are smart people who have great imaginations and who actually want to be hypnotized. If you don't want to experience hypnosis, then you won't experience hypnosis. But if you do want to experience it, then you will experience it. You will create the trance, and your imagination will control the outcome of whatever it is that you're going under hypnosis for. That's the first myth I want to dispel. The second myth I want to dispel about hypnosis that most people think. So one, they think it's mind control. Number two, they think that they're going to divulge their darkest secrets. No, that's completely ridiculous. Again, going back to the critical faculty is not going to do anything that is going to harm you. In fact, the critical faculty will protect you at all costs. The critical faculty will not let any suggestions in that would be harmful to you. It will only allow suggestions which will serve its purposes. And so if you're thinking that you're going to do something weird, then I'm sorry. I got off track because I'm not looking at notes. This is all coming off extemporaneously. So we'll edit that out later. But truthfully, you won't divulge any of your darkest secrets because they're secret for a reason. You want them to be secret. And only you can confront those secrets and overcome those secrets. The hypnotist doesn't even have to know what it is. And you can work through that. But I'm not going to hear what it is. And this is also why hypnosis is inadmissible in court, because any information that is obtained through hypnosis would not count as evidence. So, as if you have a forensic hypnotist going in and helping somebody to remember a crime that was committed that they witnessed, most of the time they won't talk about what actually happened, but they will guide them through the inner workings of their mind and their imagination to find the solution and help to identify whoever it was that committed the crime. But they don't talk about the issue, because if they talk about it, then that can taint everything. It can create false memories, and we don't want that. So you will never uncover or divulge any secrets unless you want to. The third myth of hypnosis is that you will do something weird, whatever that may be. You know, some people are familiar with hypnotists, stage hypnotists, who make people quack like a duck or think that they're a ninja. And these are weird things, but they're acceptable in stage hypnosis for entertainment purpose. Back that up. It's okay for entertainment purposes, but it's not okay in a therapeutic environment or whenever you're doing change work. And so you would not, if you came to see me, quack like a duck, unless, of course, that was helpful for you in solving whatever problem it is that you're facing. Maybe it's a fear of ducks. I'm just saying, whatever it is, you're not going to do anything weird unless you're in the right setting to do that. Like I said, stage hypnosis would be one of those things. So let's see. We talked about hypnosis not being mind control, except that you're completely in control of your mind at all times. You will not reveal your biggest secrets, and you will not do something weird like quack like a duck. The fourth myth I want to talk about is this idea that you can get stuck in hypnosis. Again, this is the work of fiction. It comes out of places like the Twilight Zone, where you can get stuck in a trance. And that just doesn't happen. I've seen it on the television show The Mentalist. But again, it does not happen in real life. Why can I say that with such certainty that it doesn't happen? Because the truth is, we all go into and out of hypnotic states all day long. There are two specific states that everybody experiences twice a day. The first one being the hypnopompic state. This is the state where you are waking up in the morning. So when you first wake up in the morning, you are highly suggestible to whatever information you put into your mind. That's why it's most important to read things like your Bible or to go into prayer and meditation first thing in the morning, rather than turning on YouTube or surfing the internet or looking at social media or checking your email. Whatever suggestions you put into your mind the first thing when you wake up is going to seed the thoughts and behaviors for your entire day. And that will either set you up for success or failure. It just depends on what you're putting into your mind. Zig Ziglar had this quote that says, "You are who you are and where you are by what goes into your mind." You can change who you are. You can change where you are by changing what goes into your mind. So it's very important that the first thing in the morning, before you start your day, when you wake up, do things intentionally to put the right kind of things into your mind to set yourself up for success. The other time during the day where you are in a hypnotic state is right before bedtime. And this time of the day is called the hypnagogic state. And in the hypnagogic state, you're highly suggestible just before you fall asleep. And so whatever information you're putting into your mind right before bedtime, these are the things that are going to influence your dreams. So you shouldn't eat something right before bed because your body's going to begin the digestion process. And we often hear jokes in church about having pizza dreams in the middle of the night. Your food can influence influence what you dream about. What you watch on television right before you go to bed can influence what you dream about. Anything that you talk about or put in front of your eyes before bedtime is going to influence how you sleep and how you're going to feel when you wake up. So if you want to have a restful sleep, some things that you could do is turn the TV off at least a half hour before bedtime, maybe an hour before bedtime. I don't know, but turn it off. Read a book, read fiction, something that's going to get your imagination working and stirring. And that is a great way to set yourself up for success at night. Or alternatively, if you're not going to read a book before you go to bed, you could also journal. Journaling is a great thing to do. You can go through your day and just highlight all of the things that you did throughout the day and recall your day. As you're doing this, it's helping your mind. You're reprogramming, you're reviewing your day. And as you review your day, it is helping you to process things before you go to sleep. And so if there's anything that's left unprocessed while you're dreaming, your unconscious mind will dream. And in that dream state, it will work to solve and resolve your problems. So those are 2 times a day that you go into a hypnotic state and you come out of it naturally, no problems whatsoever. Some other times you might go into a hypnotic trance is highway hypnosis. Have you ever been in a situation where you're driving to work or home from work and you remember leaving and pulling out of your driveway or pulling out of the parking lot, and then you suddenly arrive at home, but you don't remember anything that happened in between? That's happened to me. That's highway hypnosis. And so you go into it and out of it naturally. Another thing, daydreaming. Daydreaming is a lot like hypnosis. If you've ever, like when I was in school as a young child, I could sit in my desk at school and I could begin to daydream about all kinds of things, like the video games I was going to play when I get home, or the games I was going to make up with my brothers and sister that we would play in our yard after school. And so there's all kinds of dreams that we'll have throughout the day, and that can put you into a hypnotic state. Watching television is a hypnotic state. In fact, watching a television is a television itself is the biggest trance inducer that you have in your life, because as you sit in front of the screen, you get absorbed into the story. The storytellers tell you exactly what they want you to hear. They show you exactly what they want you to focus on. And that locus of focus, all of that attention being drawn into the screen, you will remember the story more than you will remember anybody who was sitting in the room with you, what the room looked like, and any other objects that were in the room with you. Just think back to the last time you sat down and watched a show. What can you remember? Put that in the chat. Let me know what you remember. Anything that happened, maybe a phone call. What happened? Or can you only tell me what the story was? Another thing, so we talked about highway hypnosis. We talked about daydreaming. We talked about television. I think this thing right here is also a major trance inducer. Just think about it. You take your focus and you look on your screen and you get stuck in this loop of constant scrolling. And as you're scrolling, you get sucked down the rabbit hole and you are in a trance. Kids go into trance all the time. If I were to play the Cocomelon tune, I bet anybody, if there's a child within 5 feet of you, if they heard the Cocomelon dun 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 dun, they would come running to see what was on the computer. Am I lying? No. Kids recognize that tune and they come running because they want to watch Cocomelon. Kids go into trance all the time. They are in trance all the time. I can't tell you, when my kids start watching a show, if I have something I need to tell them, they don't listen. They don't listen. I have to snap my fingers and say, hey, wake up out of your trance. I'm trying to talk to you. And they'll look at me like, what? And so kids are always in trance, in and out of trance. So those things. All right. So I hope I've done a good job here of dispelling those myths of hypnosis. If you're just now joining, you can go back and watch a little bit about those myths and why they are myths. But now I want to get into this giveaway. I've been giving this away for over a week now. It is called the Hypnosis Giveaway. And what I'm doing is I'm creating 10 individually crafted, personalized, and tailored to your specific needs. I'm giving away hypnosis audio recordings. And these recordings are going to be designed to help you solve a specific problem in your life. Now, I've already got some people who've entered into this contest, and some of the things that they are wanting help with. One person wants help with managing their finances. Another person wants help with enhancing their memory. Another person is processing grief from the loss of a child. Another person is wanting to quit drinking. And another person wants to quit smoking. Another person is struggling with procrastination and motivation. And so these are all kinds of things that hypnosis can help with. And what I'm doing is, as people enter into this drawing, I am going to select 10 lucky winners, and those 10 winners are going to receive a personalized hypnosis audio recording from me that I am going to create for them to help them solve their everyday problem, whatever that may be. And you can go onto my YouTube channel and you can watch some of the audios I've already created. I'll be honest, some of the earlier ones, these are all the first audios I've created, are not the greatest. But my award-winning audio, Embers of Renewal, you can see that one. I already shared it earlier in this video. And if you were to listen to that and just watch it, it's going to do something. It's going to affect you in a profound way. I just know it, even though it is a 2-minute audio recording. Now, what are the audios going to look like that I deliver to you? They could be 5 minutes long. They could be 20 minutes long. They might be as much as an hour. It really depends on how much information you give me to work with, because whatever your issue is, as you explain it to me, I'm going to be able to take that and mold it into something that will specifically help you and solve your problem. And so that contest is going on right now, and the entry period is open until May the 26th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So after that time, no more entries will be received. And then whoever is entered into the drawing, I will review every single entry personally, and I will select the top 10 winners. And I will announce the winners between the 27th and 29th of May. After that, I'll begin handcrafting those audios by writing the scripts, picking out music, anything that I need to do to create it. And then on June the 17th, this is when I will be delivering it to everyone who's entered and who has won. So I'm really excited about that. If you want to take part, after listening to all of this, and since you now understand that hypnosis is not magic, it's not sorcery, it's actually neuroscience, and it's based on neuroplasticity, and you want to take the opportunity to reprogram your mind, now that you know that that is possible through hypnosis, which, by the way, was recognized in the 1950s as a legitimate medical therapeutic modality. So it is something that can be used to help you solve your everyday problems. And now that you know that, now is your opportunity to go and sign up for the giveaway. I will have a link at the end of this video. There will be a link that will tell you where to go. Actually, I may be able to share it right now. Let me just go see if I can pull that up from Bitly, because that's where I put it to make it easy for me to just reshare over and over again. So I'm going to Bitly right now. The web page is loading. And as it's loading, I got to click over to the links page. And here it is. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to drop that down here in the comments. If you want to sign up, you can click this link and enter your information. Again, it's going to be a personal audio tailored to your specific needs. So fill out that form and click submit. And once you fill that out, you will be entered into the drawing. And again, you've got until May the 26th to fill it out. And I look forward to hearing from you because, like I said, there's already so many people who've already applied for this, and they have some real issues that they need help with. And it really touches my heart and pulls on my heartstrings for the different issues that they're dealing with. And I really want to serve them to the best of my ability. And so take a couple minutes, go fill out that form, and you got nothing to lose. What have you got to lose? If you don't win, you haven't lost anything. If you do win, you've gained a solution to a problem in your life that could leave you living and feeling much better than ever. So thank you for tuning in tonight and watching this live stream. If you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much. Again, go check out my award-winning hypnosis track, Embers of Renewal. It's on YouTube. And you can also encourage other people. If you don't need this, but you know somebody who is struggling with something, whether, again, it's anxiety, phobias, insomnia, procrastination, they want to quit smoking, or they're struggling with weight management, whatever the issue may be in their life that is creating a significant setback and roadblock for them, share it with them. Tell them, hey, I know this guy who could help you solve your problem. And I don't want them to try it. I really don't want anybody to try this, because the thing is, when you try something, it fails. Have you ever done everything you know to do, and then you're like, well, I guess I'll go try this now, and everything else didn't work, so I don't expect. No, if you go into this with the attitude that it's not going to work and you're just going to try it, it's not going to work for you. But if you go into this with the conviction that you believe it's going to happen, that it's going to help you, if you want it to happen, will it to happen, it will happen. So if you know somebody like that who is at what we call threshold, where they know that something needs to change, that change needs to happen right now, and that change needs to be them. If you know somebody who can say that with conviction, then send them over and have them fill out the form to enter to win one of 10 personalized hypnosis audio recordings from Jason Smith, the award-winning hypnotist from the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. I'm so excited. Have a blessed evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. Call you blessed.